Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. This is my review for Dynasty Season 3 Episode 20, titled My Hangovers Arrived, which is technically the season finale of Season 3 due to the current situation. This wasn't supposed to be the finale. They were obviously setting up Liam and Fallon's wedding to be the finale with the possible Moldovan massacre. However, due to the current circumstances, they weren't able to finish filming along with the other shows, so this episode ended up being the finale. As a result, I've tried to be optimistic and open-minded about this episode, keeping in mind that this was not supposed to be the ending the writers wanted us to have. Since the moment I saw the promo scene, I was worried about this episode. First of all, because it was going to end up being the finale while looking like a filler episode, but also because it was another special themed episode. This season, they've already had a musical episode and that awful black and white episode. I think they started doing episodes like these with the Wizard of Oz episode last season. As you can tell by the title, this episode takes inspiration from the movie The Hangover. I have not enjoyed these types of episodes from Dynasty because they get in the way of the plot, and the plot is already all over the place. This especially worried me because I loved last episode and what it was setting up. However, this episode ended up surprising me. The main plot of the episode was that Fallon is having her bachelorette party, and she wanted something small, but Sammy wouldn't listen, and they ended up forgetting what happened last night, and now they have to find out who Fallon got married to and get their phones back. Meanwhile, Adam is trying to get revenge on Blake, and there's drama between Jeff and Alexis. I found the main plot to be the weakest part, as I had expected. However, there were some parts of it that I enjoyed. Fallon was mad at Liam because he did not tell her about Blake being kidnapped last episode, and now she wanted a prenup so she could show they were equals. This leads to her arc throughout the episode being that she realized that Liam was right. She does act pretty crazy when dealing with obstacles in her way. This was especially highlighted in the scene in the jail where Sammy, Kirby, and Crystal point out how Liam has a point. I enjoyed seeing Fallon realize her mistakes and grow to hopefully be a better person. Although there was another flaw at first that was not pointed out at all, and it's not just with her. Well, last episode they showed us how Thomas Carrington's children will do anything for money in their business. This episode showed us how all of our characters are extremely self-centered. Fallon and the group left her assistant after she fell off the ball, and Blake did not care about putting that woman in danger as long as his problems were resolved. Also, I feel like it's obvious the assistant was meant to die if they had the chance to do the Moldovan massacre, because she started getting a lot of screen time and development all of a sudden. For example, I think we found out she was gay this episode. Later on in the episode, we found out that Sam was actually the one who got married to the stripper, not Fallon, and before they leave, the stripper tells him to call him. I'm curious where this will go with, because Sam has not really had a storyline this season, and ever since Steven left, it feels like he doesn't have a purpose on the show. So maybe a relationship like this could be what his character needs, but I'm worried that it will feel like a ripoff of Fallon and Liam, or that it will separate him even more from the other characters. I'm also curious if the writers are still considering doing anything with Fallon and Cohane. When they were talking in the jail, I could feel like there's still something going on between them, but maybe I'm just reading too much into it. But Cohane is another character that has not had much to do and was just thrown into Dominique's storyline this season, who I missed in this episode, by the way. The other part that I enjoyed about the Hangover storyline was Crystal. It's weird that it was only at the end of the season that I started to feel similarities between Ana Brenda Contreras' Crystal and Daniela's Crystal. My opinion on Crystal has changed throughout the season, but I feel like this was one of Daniela's best episodes. First of all, both her outfits looked great. These were probably her best looks, other than last episode. Her outfits have really improved recently. She looked awful at the beginning of the season, but then I also hated the blue outfit she had at the end. But she was also finally given a story that is separated from Blake and allowed to be her own character and not dependent on him all the time. She finally seemed like more of the fun and caring Crystal I missed from last season. I also loved the development of her friendship with Fallon. That was something I loved with Ana Brenda's Crystal, and really separated them from Fallon's rocky relationship with Nat's Crystal. However, their friendship was dropped this season. This episode also pointed out another problem I've had with other CW shows, like The Flash, where they get rid of all the characters' friends, so when they have a bachelorette party, the only people that go to the party are the ones that you wouldn't really expect them to because they don't really have strong relationships. Kirby and Fallon have barely been friends this season, same with Crystal, and her and Sammy have also barely talked, yet they were the ones who went to her party. Although it seemed random that this was the group that would go to Fallon's party, I'm glad it allowed her friendships with them to develop. And I also like how it was the same group from when they went to the ski lodge last season, because they haven't had much screen time together since then, like I said. Now to the subplots. Alexis found out that Jeff was sleeping with that other girl and tried to sabotage him because it turns out she actually has feelings for him now. I liked how they brought up once again her insecurities and how she liked being respected for being a Colby or a Carrington. However, I'm not sure how I feel about Jeff and Alexis having an actual romantic relationship. This Alexis looks younger, and she does seem to work well with him, but Nicolette's Alexis was not only his aunt, but also sort of a mother figure to him and Monica, so that is a huge problem. And of course there's the age gap between them. What I was most looking forward to after last week was the return of Evil Adam. I found him annoying last season, but he grew on me throughout the season, and I was interested in how he would get revenge on Blake. First of all, we got the scene of him plotting with Alexis that I wanted last episode, and this also brings up another interesting thing. While Adam is going back to being evil, Jeff was trying to move past his revenge plots now that he's not dying. Meanwhile, Alexis seemed to be conflicted on which side she's on. I hope to see this develop more next season. Adam tried to use his position as Blake's second-in-command to sabotage the company by getting them bad press, but that failed initially. Meanwhile, Anders was asked to investigate about Adam's early life to help him look good to the public, but ended up finding out how crazy he is. Then, after finding out that Kirby is dating Adam, this led to his discovery that Adam was the one who shoved Alexis into the fireplace. I'm so glad they finally brought this back up. It was weird how Alexis built such a happy relationship with the son who burned her face, after she was afraid of him last season and was worrying Fallon about him. The show has had problems with characters not paying for their actions, especially Adam, Alexis, and Dominique, and also Crystal this season because they seem to have forgotten that she was literally trying to murder Alexis. Anyway, I'm looking forward to where the story will go next season, especially now that Kirby told Adam that Anders knows, and that it seems that Anders is going to find out more about Adam's past. What interests me most about this is the cliffhanger where Anders is going on a plane and it seems he's going to discover more about Adam's past. But could this lead him to Europe and could he end up finding Steven? Overall, this episode was not as good as last week's episode, which I think would have made a better finale, and I think it worked well as a finale considering the circumstances. I'm excited for next season, which makes me mad that we have to wait over a year to see what happens between Anders and Adam. And we still have to wait to finally see Fallon and Liam's wedding that they've been building up for 2 years. Anyway, I think I would give this episode a 7 out of 10 as a normal episode, and either a 6.5 or 7 out of 10 for a finale. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe for similar content. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments, and have a good day. Thank you.